The city floated high in the clouds, far above the poisoned ground of Terali's 5. Alien towers sparkled under twin suns. Ships passed overhead, lights blinking, engines humming. It was a place of wealth, order, and silence. But down on the lower walkways, near the waste vents and forgotten walls, lived the people no one cared about. Sira sat on the cold steel ground, her knees bent up, holding a cloth-wrapped bundle tightly to her chest. Her skin, once glowing silver, was now gray with dust and hunger. Her arms shook. Her baby didn't cry anymore. He had cried too much, and now he only made soft gasps. She raised her head slowly whenever footsteps approached. "Please, food, water. Just for my child," she begged in a soft voice. But the aliens who passed wore clean uniforms, glowing badges and lenses in their eyes. They looked away, or worse, sneered. One alien in a red robe stopped for a moment. He stared at the child. "Your kind started the war," he said coldly. "You deserve nothing." Then he walked off, cloak brushing past her as if she were trash. Sira held back her tears. She had cried enough. If her tears could feed her baby, he would never go hungry. But they couldn't. Her people had lost the Civil War. Her home was destroyed. Her name meant nothing now. The council had erased their status. Refugees like her weren't welcome. They weren't even allowed inside the food stations. Another ship flew by above, massive, quiet, smooth black metal. A strange one. Different from the usual patrol craft. Sira didn't care. She had one goal left: keep her son breathing. That's all. A few blocks away, a human named Daniel stepped off the ramp of his vessel, the Sparrowhawk. He wore a long gray coat, a travel pack on his back, and a scanner strapped to his arm. Most aliens ignored him. He liked that. Humans were rare on Terali's 5. Too independent, too emotional, too curious. Daniel wasn't a tourist. He was looking for something, someone. Really, not on any bounty list, not for money. He believed in helping those forgotten by the stars. As he walked the lower levels, his scanner blinked. Life sign: weak, infant, malnourished. Nearby. He turned a corner and saw her. She didn't notice him at first. She was rocking her baby, gently, whispering words in a soft alien tongue. Her back was curved, her hair tangled, her eyes full of something that looked like dying hope. He stepped closer. "Are you all right?" he asked quietly. Her head jerked up. She looked panicked, clutching the child tightly. "Please don't take him, please. He's all I have." Daniel raised both hands. "I'm not here to hurt you. I'm human." She blinked, confused. "Human?" "Yes, name's Daniel." He knelt slowly, trying not to startle her. "I saw your child's vitals. He's fading fast." Sira looked down at the bundle. The tiny alien baby was breathing, but barely. His skin had gone pale blue. "I've tried. I begged everyone. No one listened." Daniel nodded, then reached into his coat and pulled out a small silver cube. "This is a human med or a pack. It's not magic, just old tech, but it might help." She looked at it like it was a weapon. "Why help me?" He shrugged. "Because no one else is. And because I believe no child should die like this." She didn't trust him, but something inside her cracked. She had nothing left to lose. She nodded. Daniel pressed the cube gently to the baby's chest. It glowed soft green, then yellow. A warm pulse flowed through the baby's small body. After a few seconds, he let out a tiny cry. Sira gasped. Her hands trembled as she looked down. The baby opened one eye, weak but alive. She kissed his forehead, tears falling freely now. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you." Daniel sat back. "He needs food and warmth. I can give you both. My ship's nearby." But before she could answer, a strange clicking noise echoed above them. Daniel looked up sharply. A small black orb floated just above the Alia surveillance drone. It flashed red and zipped away. Sira's face went pale. They saw me. The bounty. What bounty? Daniel asked, voice calm but serious. They put a price on us. Refugees. They say we're dangerous. Even our babies. Daniel stood, scanning the alley. Then we need to move, now. Sierra hesitated, looking at her baby, then at the man offering her safety. For the first time in weeks, she stood up. Together, they disappeared into the smoke and steel of the Undercity, chased by a system that had thrown her away. Asterisk. The corridor inside the Sparrowhawk smelled like warmth and safety. Not fancy but real. The kind of safety Sierra hadn't felt since before the war. The ship's lights were soft yellow, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Every door they passed seemed to hum alive and listening. Sierra held her baby tightly, though. He now breathed steadily. Daniel walked ahead, not rushing her. He kept checking the scanner on his wrist. The drone's signal was fast. But we've got time. She didn't speak. Her eyes kept scanning the ship's walls, half expecting hidden weapons, traps, collars. Back on her world, promises often led to chains. But something about this place didn't feel like a trap. It felt like a forgotten dream. Suddenly, a soft female voice echoed through the hallway. Welcome aboard, Sierra of the fallen house Vakril. You are safe here. Sierra stopped, eyes wide. Who said that? Daniel smiled and looked up. That's Eliora. She's the ship's AI. Think of her like a guardian spirit. Sierra frowned. She knows my name. Eliora responded, gentle but clear. Your DNA was recognized through your child. You were once registered in the diplomatic corps of the Eastern Rift Alliance. You speak 6 languages, and you played the Skyharp. Sierra blinked. That information was buried. No one alive should have had access. Why would a human AI know that? Daniel paused, then answered slowly. Because I didn't buy this ship. I rescued her, same as I did you. They entered the med bay. It was small but clean. The walls shifted color when they entered from cold gray to soft blue. A cradle formed from the wall, padded and glowing. Sierra gently laid her baby in it. For the first time, he relaxed in his sleep. His chest rose and fell, calm. No gasps, no panic. She stepped back, overwhelmed. Daniel handed her a protein bar. Eat. Slowly. She bit into it, and her body shook as warmth spread through her. Her vision blurred not from the food, but the sudden release of fear. You don't know what it's like, she whispered. To beg and be hated, to hold your child and wait for him to stop moving. Daniel leaned back, arms crossed. Maybe not exactly, but humans have our own history. We were once slaves too. Many times. We don't forget pain, we learn from it. She looked at him, really looked for the first time. His coat had burn marks. His hands were rough. His eyes had seen too much. He wasn't young, but he had the energy of someone who refused to break. Why me? She asked again. Why my child? Daniel's voice dropped lower. Because I saw my sister die holding her daughter. Because when I saw you in that alley, I felt the same helplessness again. I wasn't going to walk away this time. Sierra looked down, silent. Then Eliora's voice broken louder this time, urgent. Warning. Surveillance drones are returning. 3, armed, council marked. Daniel cursed it under his breath. Already? Damn, that was fast. Sierra stood quickly. They'll kill us. My child has a bounty. Daniel touched the wall, and a screen unfolded, showing the drones on approach. They won't kill you, he said. Not while I'm breathing. She grabbed his arm. You said your ship was peaceful. It is, but peace, Daniel said, walking to a hidden panel and pressing a sequence of buttons, doesn't mean weak. The panel slid open, revealing something glowing behind it. Sierra stepped back. Inside was a strange device, human tech, clearly but shaped like a crystal flower. It pulsed with a deep red light. What is that? She asked. Daniel looked over. His shoulder, Old Earth tech, illegal now in most sectors. But effective, I call it. The heart, it doesn't fire weapons, it whispers into machines, turns them off, silently. Sira's eyes widened. You have forbidden tech for us? He nodded. For anyone who needs it. Outside the ship, the 3 drones zipped. Through the air, scanning, mapping, preparing. Inside, Daniel activated the heart. A silent pulse rippled out. The lights dimmed slightly. Eliora's voice whispered, pulse sent, drones disrupted. One by one, the red lights on the drones blinked. Then vanished. They dropped mid-air dead. Sira stood frozen, her hand covering her mouth. Daniel sealed the panel, but now they'll know we interfered. We've bought minutes, maybe an hour. She looked at him, heart pounding. What do we do now? He turned to her, face calm. Now we run. We get you out of this city, off this world. And go where? To a place where no one will ever call your child a curse again. Sira had been inside many ships before, their walls cold, their floors sharp, and their halls full of shouting soldiers or silence that meant danger. But the Sparrowhawk was different. When she woke the next cycle, still weak but no longer shaking. The ship greeted her gently. Good morning, Sira, the Eliora said in a soft voice. Your baby's temperature is stable. His lungs are stronger now. Sira sat up slowly, startled. The room had changed color from blue to a warm sunrise. Gold. The soft lights above even shifted like clouds, moving calmly, as if the ship wanted her to feel peace. Why? Is it like this? She asked. Daniel was nearby, cleaning a small water filter. Eliora adjusts the atmosphere and lighting to match a person's emotional state. She learned that from human children, helps healing. Sira blinked. A ship. That feels emotions? Daniel smiled. No, but she watches and listens better than most people. She looked down at her son, resting in a cocoon bed the ship had built just for him overnight. His tiny chest moved steady now, and for the first time in days, he was warm without shivering. Sira stood, still unsure of her place. You should have left us, we're just trouble. Daniel's face changed, his smile vanished. You're not trouble. You're what this ship was made for. You're the reason I came to this side of space. They moved to the ship's center deck, open, circular, surrounded by curved windows showing a cracked, dying planet far below. The city towers behind them were disappearing in the clouds. The Sparrowhawk was lifting quietly, unnoticed. Sira walked slowly, one hand on the curved rail, eyes wide. This ship, it's not built for war. It's not, Daniel said. It was built to save lives. She was a med rescue ship from the old Earth days, discarded after peace came. Then why does she respond like this, so personal? Daniel placed his palm on the wall. Because she was left in the dark for 12 years. Alone. Most people forgot her. I found her in a junkyard orbit, still running, still waiting. No one wanted her. Sira touched the same wall, and to her surprise, a faint glow followed her hand. I know how that feels, she whispered. The ship hummed quietly as if listening. Suddenly, a red flash blinked across the console. Unregistered. Signal locked onto our Treo, Eliora said. Type, Hunter class, unknown origin. Speed, rising. Daniel's calm expression vanished. He moved to the control panel. Show it. A screen unfolded, showing a sleek silver ship sliding from behind the moon's dark side. It was fast. Its markings were worn off, but Sira recognized the shape. That's not console tech, she said. That's a bounty hunter. Daniel's jaw tightened. Private tracker. That drone must have set more than just location. Someone wants you badly. Sira stepped back. You should let us off. If they board, they'll kill you. I don't leave people behind, Daniel said flatly. Especially not mothers with infants. The ship jolted slightly as it entered high-speed evasion mode. Through the windows, stars began to blur. Sira clutched the rail. Her instincts screamed danger, but also something else. Something she hadn't felt since childhood. Hope. The ship moved like a bird through broken space, diving between asteroids and heat trails. Daniel's fingers danced across the control board. Eliora adjusted shields and vents automatically, but the bounty hunter ship was still gaining. "It's too fast," Sira said. "They'll catch us." Daniel didn't answer right away. Then he glanced over. "Sira, can you follow instructions?" She nodded slowly. "I need you to go to the rear chamber. There's a system there, biosonic dampeners. Only someone with non-human DNA can activate it. It might throw off their trackers." She hesitated. "I don't know tech. You don't need to. Just place your palm on the center stone. Say your name and say, 'I claim protection.'" She didn't understand it, but she ran. The chamber was dark and round, with floating lights circling a glowing crystal in the floor. She stepped forward, heart racing. Her baby was strapped to her chest. His eyes barely opened, but he felt her fear. She knelt, placed her hand on the stone and whispered, "Sira Vekral, I claim protection." A sudden light surged from the crystal, first white, then deep gold. A low pulse echoed through the ship. Back on the command deck, Daniel saw the hunter ship's signal vanish from the radar. "Did it work?" he asked Eliora. "Yes, she activated the old Earth code," the AI replied. "She belongs here now, and they cannot find what is protected." Sira returned moments later, glowing faintly from the energy residue. "What did I do?" Daniel turned, looked at her, and smiled. "You just made this ship your home." Asterisk, the stars outside the Sparrowhawk now looked different to Siren, not distant or cold, but like silent watchers. The ship floated between blinking debris fields and silent moons, far from Terali's 5, yet peace did not last long. Inside the main control deck, Daniel stared at the screen, brows tight. He had been quiet for a long time. Sira walked in slowly, holding her child close. "We escaped the hunter ship, didn't we?" Daniel didn't answer. Eliora, the ship's AI, broke the silence. "New data decoded from the drone's transmission, Captain." "It's worse than expected." Sira stepped closer. "What did they send?" Daniel turned to face her, his voice quiet. "Not just your location. They sent your identity and confirmation of your child's birth." Sira felt her breath catch. "Why does that matter?" Eliora replied, her voice soft but clear. "The child is not just a refugee. According to genetic records, he's a direct heir to the Vekral royal line." Sira backed away slowly. "No. They erased our family. They swore our line was broken." Daniel nodded. "Which means your baby is dangerous to them. If word spreads that a royal child survived, your enemies lose control of the narrative." Sira's hands shook. "So they put a price on a baby?" "Not just any bounty," Daniel said, pulling up a file. "Look." The screen showed her baby's face drawn in a digital sketch. Underneath, subject, royal bloodline. Status, erasure priority. Reward, that 100,000 credits. Alive 0. Sira nearly collapsed. Her child, her reason to live, was marked for death. Daniel stood silently beside her. "They want the child gone, no matter what. Not captured, not used, just erased." Sira fell to her knees. They said if I ever spoke his name again, I'd be killed. I thought if I just stayed silent, hid, begged quietly, we'd survive." Daniel crouched down. "You've done more than survive. You protected him when no one else would. But now, it's not just hiding anymore. Now they know he exists." She looked up. "What will you do?" He met her eyes. "I'll protect him. And you. But you need to know this puts a target on me too, on Eliora, on anyone who helps." Sira stood slowly. "I didn't ask you to give your life." "You didn't have to," Daniel said. "Some things are worth it." Suddenly, Aliora's voice turned sharp. Emergency alert. Multiple incoming ships, high-speed intercept vector. 4 vessels. All Council class. Sira froze. They sent warships? No, Daniel replied. They sent erasers. What are those? Special ops ships, no markings, no records. Their job is to make people disappear and erase the evidence afterward. Sira gripped the wall, heart racing. You need to leave me here. Drop me on a moon. Hide your ship, don't die for us. But Daniel was already moving. No, he pressed a switch. The lights turned red and a part of the floor opened. A hidden compartment lifted, revealing a sleek metal control console. What is that? Sira asked, the Sparrowhawk's true heart. Not just medical tech. Earth gave her something else before they shut her down. Aliora's voice shifted deeper, stronger. Counter-stealth program online. Shielding sequence prepared. Auto jump. In 90 seconds. Daniel looked at Sira. You're not just passengers now. You're part of this ship. And this ship doesn't run from shadows. The ship's lights dimmed. Sira watched on the screen as the 4 Council class vessels approached like silent wolves. Eliora pulsed. Jump cannot engage yet. Interference. From ion bursts. Daniel's jaw tightened. Then we fight for 90 seconds. Sira stepped forward. Let me help. Daniel shook his head. You've done enough. No, she said, voice sharper than before. My child isn't just a symbol. He's a person, and I'm his mother. She walked to the console. Tell me what to press. Daniel hesitated. Then nodded. The Council ships fired jamming rays meant to overload smaller ships. But Eliora's shielding held barely. Pulse. Sync failed, Eliora warned. Second blast incoming. Sira's hand hovered over the panel. What's that blinking red one? Daniel smirked. That's not standard tech. It's an Earth override. A loud signal blast makes a lot of noise. If they're hunting silence, we give them thunder. Do it, Sira said. Daniel slammed the switch. A sound deep, powerful, full of coded pulses rushed out from the Sparrowhawk. Not heard through ears, but felt through bones and machines. Outside, the enemy ships flickered. One spun out of control. Another stopped cold. Sira held her baby tighter as the ship began its jump countdown. Eliora's voice. Jump window cleared. Destination, unknown safe zone. Sira looked once more at the stars. Then everything turned white. They didn't land. They crashed. The Sparrowhawk came out of hyperspace trailing sparks, her systems strained, hull scorched. The jump had worked, but barely. The ship now floated above a forgotten planet on the edge of mapped space, orbiting. A dim, dying sun. Sira gripped her baby as Eliora's voice echoed. Hull damage critical. Engines offline. Main weapons disabled. Life support holding. Barely, Daniel slammed a fist on the console, but just once. Then he was calm again. Focused. Eliora, scan for hostile signals. No ships in range, the II said softly. But I detect a faint distress beacon. Human. Sira sat down, still shaking. You knew this would happen. Daniel didn't look at her. I knew helping you came with a cost. I chose it anyway. Sira touched his arm. Why, you don't even know us. Now he looked at her, and in his eyes burned something sharp. Not anger, not sadness. Something older. Like fire frozen in time. Because I do know, he said quietly. You remind me of someone I couldn't save. The lights in the ship flickered. Sira took her baby to the backup medbay, where the cradle still glowed faintly. She wrapped him in the last clean blanket they had. She returned to Daniel, who was working fast, ripping open panels, rewiring circuits, breathing like a man on borrowed time. Who was she? Sira asked gently. He didn't answer at first. Then, my sister. Laura, she was a peace envoy, just like you once were. She had a child too? Sira guessed. Daniel nodded. A daughter. They called her a threat to balance. Sound familiar? Sira's breath caught. They erased her, he said, eyes not leaving the wires. Just like they're trying to erase your son. And I wasn't fast enough to stop it. I live with that every day. Sira's voice broke. I'm sorry. Daniel stood up, brushing dust off his coat. Don't be. That's why I made a promise. I help those the galaxy throws away. I don't fail twice. Outside, the world below was a gray wasteland. No trees. No cities, just wrecks and rock and old bones. Sira walked to the viewing glass. Why is there a human beacon here? Daniel glanced at her. Because this place was once a war zone, a hidden Earth base. That beacon might be the only reason we're still alive. These old worlds have defense codes, ones the Council still fears. He checked a box under the floor. Inside, a small, spherical device hummed faintly. Sira stepped back. What is that? Daniel smiled grimly. Something Earth called a ghost heart. Emits a fake human ship signature 10 times bigger than this one. Scares off anyone who's hunting. You mean, Sira whispered, you make them think something worse is coming? Exactly. We give them something they don't want to fight. But Aliara's voice cut in suddenly. New signal detected, one enemy scout. Stealth mode, it followed the jump trail, 10 minutes out. Sira tensed. They found us? Just one ship. For now, Aliora said. Daniel's hands moved fast. Then we give them a warning. No shots, just fear. He set the ghost heart in the center of the deck. The lights dimmed. Holograms spun in the air, images of Earth's old warships, dreadnoughts. From the time when humans were still feared across the stars. Sira watched in awe. These are legends, she said. I heard about the Terran fleet as a child. My people never believed it was real. Daniel smirked. It was real. It still is in memory, and memory is enough to shake enemies. The ghost heart activated. A low pulse spread through space. The one enemy ship appeared on sensors. Then it stopped. Then it turned. Then it fled. They ran. Aliora confirmed. Daniel exhaled. Good. They'll report what they saw. And no one will know if it was real or fake. Sira stared at him. You just scared off a war scout with old ghosts. He looked at her, something heavy in his voice. Sometimes, fear is a better shield than fire. Sira helped patch the ship while Daniel repaired the last of the power conduits. Together, they moved like a team, not strangers anymore. As they worked, she spoke softly. You gave up your safety. You brought me aboard. You shared your pain. What do you get from all this? Daniel looked at her child asleep nearby. A second chance. Not to save the past, but to protect the future. Sira nodded. And something inside her, something she thought had died, began to breathe again. Asterisk. The Sparrowhawk drifted above a silent planet. Below, no cities, no voices. Just wind, ash, and broken machines. Sira stood at the viewport, staring down at the dead surface. Her baby slept against her chest. Tiny fingers curled near his mouth. For once, he looked peaceful. But time was running out. Behind her, Daniel was pale. His hand pressed against his ribs, his breathing shallow. The earlier jump had shaken the ship and him. You're bleeding, Sira whispered. Daniel leaned on the console. Old wound, cracked again in the landing. I'll be fine. Aliara disagreed. He needs biostabilizer. Vital signs are falling. If untreated, he will not survive another day. Sira turned, eyes sharp. Where is it? Medical stores are empty, the eye said. But this planet once had a research outpost. Coordinates marked. Daniel tried to stand. I'll go. But Sira was already moving toward the equipment bay. No, she said, firm and clear. You helped me when I had nothing. Now it's my turn. She wore a patched jumpsuit, too big for her frame. A mask covered her mouth. The air outside wasn't toxic, but heavy with dust, full of strange particles. Eliora guided her from above. Outpost is 1 kilometer northeast. Caution, ground unstable. Sira adjusted the sling holding her child. She looked down at him. We've come this far, little star. Let's go 1 step more. Then she stepped out into the dead world. The sky was orange-gray. Wind howled like ghosts. The surface was cracked and scattered with old bones, both metal and organic. Sira walked carefully, her boots sinking into soft ash. Each step made her heart beat faster, but she didn't stop. She had lived through worse. She had begged, starved, hidden. Now she was walking forward with purpose. Eliora's voice guided her gently. You are halfway there. Life signs minimal. Radiation stable. Keep moving. Sira glanced at her baby. His eyes fluttered but did not open. She touched his head. Just hold on a little longer. At last the outpost appeared, a buried structure, metal roof broken in two, half swallowed by sand. Sira climbed over debris, her hands cut by sharp edges, her knees bruised. Inside, it was dark and cold. She found old signs in Earth language, unreadable. But one door blinked faintly, still powered. Eliora, I'm inside. Where's the stabilizer? Room 3B behind emergency seal. Sira crawled through a collapsed hallway. Pipes hissed. Dust filled the air. But she didn't slow down. She reached the room. Inside were broken beds, dusty lights, and one sealed locker. It was heavy, locked by D and a code. Sira whispered, Eliora? You may override it by voice. Speak, I carry the future. She did. The door clicked open. Inside 3 vials. 1 blue, 1 red, 1 gold. Eliora spoke. Take the gold. It heals human tissue. Works fast. Sira took the gold vial, but her eyes stayed on the other. 2, she hesitated. Then, she took them all. The way back was harder. The wind had grown stronger. The sky darker. She stumbled once, cutting her leg. Another time. Her mask cracked, but she tied cloth over it. Still, she didn't stop, not for pain. Not for fear. Her baby whimpered softly, weak, but alive. She whispered back, We're going. Home, we're almost there. By the time she reached the ship, she was shaking. Her clothes were torn. Her arms burned, but she stepped onto the ship like a soldier. Returning from war. Daniel was half conscious on the med-bed. Ira handed the vial to Eliora's robotic arm. A small injector hissed. Daniel groaned, then took a deep breath. His color returned. He looked up, eyes blurry. You came back. Sira smiled, even through tears. I never left. Later, in quiet light, Daniel sat near her as she rested. Her child lay in a fresh cradle, newly built by Eliora's soft robotics. You saved my life, Daniel said. No, Sira whispered. I finally gave back. He looked at her with deep respect. You walked a dead world. You could have run. You didn't. Sira looked down at her hands. Because I finally understand. You weren't just saving me. You were waking me up. The ship HUMMED. Outside, the stars waited. But Sira was no longer a beggar, no longer forgotten. She was fire. Quiet, but burning, and they were not done yet. The Sparrowhawk lifted off the dead world slowly, like a wounded bird taking flight again. Systems were barely holding. The ship trembled, but it moved forward like its passengers. No longer broken, just healing. Sira sat in the center chamber. Her child asleep in her arms. His breathing was calm. His skin had color again. His small hand clutched a string from her sleeve. Daniel stood beside her, leaning on the rail. His side was bandaged, but his steps were steady now. They didn't speak at first. The silence between them wasn't empty. It was full of understanding. Finally, Daniel asked, Do you know where you want to go now? Sira looked out the window at the stars. Anywhere they don't know our names. He nodded, but then Aliora spoke, her voice calm yet different, stronger. Captain, we received a broadcast. What kind? Daniel asked. Public signal. Wide range from the council. About her. Sira tensed. Play it, Daniel said. The screen lit up. A well-dressed alien stood on the broadcast. His voice cold and fake. Let it be known, the council's voice said. A fugitive has escaped planetary justice with help from outside forces. She carries stolen DNA and a false child used to stir rebellion. Anyone offering shelter will be punished. Sira stood slowly. False child. Daniel's jaw clenched. They're rewriting the truth, trying to erase you again. Then something changed. Iliora's screen blinked, and another voice broke. In a pirate channel, rough but real, the face of an old alien woman appeared. One with scars and cloudy eyes. Lies, she growled. I know that woman, Sira of Vekrol. I served under her mother before the war. She speaks truth. That child is a symbol of what we lost. More voices followed, cutting through the dark with static and fire. I saw her feed children. From her own hands, said another. She helped rebuild our school after the bombings. She never raised a weapon. Only her voice. Sira's eyes filled with tears. Aliora added, the signal is spreading. The galaxy is listening. Daniel looked at her gently. You don't need to run anymore. But I'm still hunted, she said. They want me silenced. Daniel nodded slowly. Then don't hide. Speak louder. Sira stepped forward. She stood before the ship's wide-lens broadcast console. She looked into the black glass. She held her baby close, wrapped in the cloth she once begged with. Her voice trembled, but she spoke. My name is Sira of Vekrol. They called me a ghost, a mistake, but I am alive. She raised the child slightly so the galaxy could see. This is my son. His name is Ellen. He did not ask to be royal. He only wants to live. And I will not let him be erased. Her hands stopped shaking. If you hear this, she continued, and you have ever been thrown away, forgotten, erased, then know this. You are not alone. We are still here. And we are worth saving. Daniel stood behind her, silent, proud. Across the stars, something happened. The signal was picked up by refugee ships, by outpost miners, by hidden resistance camps, even by exiled diplomats in far systems. Some wept. Others raised their fists. Others whispered her name, for the first time in a long while. She was seen. Back on the Sparrowhawk, Sira stepped away from the console. She looked at Daniel. What happens now? She asked. He smiled. Now, we give them something they can't erase. Days later, on a quiet moon orbiting a free planet, Sira walked through a market, not as a beggar, but as a guest. Aliens bowed their heads. Some gave small gifts. One old man simply whispered, "Thank you for not disappearing." Her child, now stronger, giggled in her arms. And then Daniel walked beside her, his coat repaired, his eyes steady. You ready to build something new? He asked. Sira nodded. No more hiding, she said. From now on, we build a world where no mother has to beg to be seen. He smiled. Then let's begin. Above them, the Sparrowhawk floated peacefully in the sky, not just a ship, a symbol, a promise that even in the darkest corners of the stars, someone still cares.